everyone, I'm Dana Obleman, creator of the Sleep Sense program, and welcome to Ask a Baby Sleep Expert. Today I am joined by Ivy Go, who is a Sleep Sense consultant, and we're going to have a great conversation about all things sleep training in Asian countries. Welcome to our show, Ivy.
Hi everyone. Hi Dana.
Hi. So tell us a little bit more about you. Where are you from, and how long have you been a sleep coach?
I'm Ivy and based in Singapore. I have been a sleep coach for almost a year, and I've been learning a lot along the way from Dana and our community. Yeah, so I have been enjoying this journey so far.
Oh, good, good. What's your favorite thing about being a sleep coach?
I think mainly because my passion is constantly burning. I would always love to share, especially when I meet tired parents, which is a very common sight. I just enjoy sharing about what I do and what this is all about because it is still, I must say, not exactly the most common topic. Some people are still taken aback about what all this is about. So as I speak and as I talk to more parents, I get more confident and I get more examples to share with people. And I think it's always a joy to pass on the knowledge to other parents. And I really like that.
Yeah. I always say to be a good sleep coach, you need to be passionate about sleep, which it sounds like you definitely are. And so today our question or our discussion is revolving around some of the additional challenges that come up for parents in Asian countries when we're starting to think about making changes to our child's sleep habits. So let's talk with the first, like the primary challenge that you see. What is sort of the top challenge that families living in Asia are facing?
I think the very top that the struggles that I see in parents, one of the top differences is parent grandparents' involvement. And because it is pretty common because Singapore itself is a really small city, so it is our parents, the grandparents are either just a few blocks away, a few streets away, or we're just not too far off. We're probably like 10, 15 minutes away. And there are also like a multi-generation settings whereby family all live together. So it is very common whereby the elders will step in and be involved. And more often than not, because both parents are working, so we have to seek help from either helpers or our own set of parents. So many a times this is the challenge. And we need to face in because sleep training is a lot about discipline and consistency. And that's something that lacks in it because we need everybody's agreement and everyone to be on the same page. And more often than not, the elders always have a different point of view on what we are doing. They think that we don't know what we are doing and we are inexperienced as new parents. So many a times they will step in and it is very difficult to have a firm ground or to get them on board with us. This is the main challenge,
Yeah, it is. I can imagine tricky. I think, we all face that to some degree where we have, well-intentioned, the parents are coming from a place of well-intention, but it can be a little tricky to navigate some of these decisions we make as parents, and outsiders like to give their opinions as well. So how do you help your client? What's the best approach when that's the scenario that they want to take positive action to get their child sleeping well, but they do have this sort of overarching opinion pool of people who have something to say about it?
I think it's because I myself went through that phase, and I'm very fortunate to have my mom living very near me, and I have that same scenario that everyone goes through. She was very against it and she couldn't understand why will I do this to my child, especially when in sleep training we have to tolerate a certain level of crying to a certain extent. Yes. So there are just some ideas that my mom also couldn't understand, and because I have been through it myself, it is better. I'm more relatable to my clients, whereby I know what to expect. I know what's coming and why they will react certain ways. So not that it's easier, but I am able to empathize what they're going through, and I will guide them step by step on why our parents will think this way, and how we can show to them that we know what we are doing, and we know exactly what to expect, and what is going to happen, and what will happen, and what to see eventually. So one of the challenges that this parental involvement is all about is when I tell my clients to try to convince any external help to give us some time, to let us run the show, and to take a step back, because after all, we are the parents and we are accountable for anything that is going to happen. So let us run the show, and let us take a step first before they intervene. So it's a lot of having a proper planning and putting into action, and that's how we figure things out.
Yeah, I think it comes down to, first of all, if you can get them on board, that's helpful, right? Especially if you can have them sort of sit in on the consultation or get a little bit of the sleep education that you share with all of your clients. That's optimal if we can get people to be on the same page and get on board. Some will, some won't, right?
Yeah.
So some grandparents are just a firm no, and that's their bottom line. But I think you're right in saying, like, ultimately, you are the parent. You get to call the shots. You are ultimately the boss, let's say, of the decisions you make for your child. And sometimes it just requires you to be, a little confident in that, and stand behind it so that they can see. And the good news is, progress comes pretty quickly. So
yes, indeed.
if they can give you some space to do this, and if they can back off a little bit while you implement the plan, they can be involved in the good news that shows up when this baby starts sleeping better.
Yeah. We all need to be in this together to see the results. And that's what exactly happened to me when my mom saw that things are working, and she eventually got on board, and she will be in turn be the one reminding me that, oh, we need to keep to the clock, and we are hitting a certain amount of wake time. Like, is it not time to put down to bed? Sometimes because there are too many things in my mind, and I was like, oh yes, actually you're right. So it is.
They become
a good
an
teamwork.
advocate.
Yeah, exactly.
They do. Yeah, it does, and it makes. I can remember my in-laws coming to watch my son when he was a baby, and I told her my schedule, and I gave her an outline of like his sleep schedule and what she should do with him. And she kind of like nodded and smiled. But when I got back from the trip, my father-in-law said to me, "Oh, he is such a good baby if you stick to that schedule." Which made me think, they probably didn't stick to the schedule for the first couple of days and realized that, oh, this isn't very easy. But once they got on board and stuck to a schedule, then it does make, babysitting is easier. The baby's happier. Engagement is more fun with the baby when they're well rested.
But I think one of the key issues is when parents have to be convinced themselves. When they approach us, it's not like sitting on the fence. They know what they want. They know that this is the way to go. There are so many benefits that comes after it, and what they will reap from this. And then they can further try to get their parents our own parents on board as well. They need to have a strong belief in this entire system first. So if they're skeptical and they're not sure if they should do or if they should not do, then they're not convincing at all. Then to the grandparents, you don't even know what you're doing. Why should I listen to you? I was the one who raised you up, so I know what I'm doing. You don't know what you're doing. So I think that parents need to, yeah, they have to be the one
Believe in it.
yeah, exactly.
Exactly, I agree. And so, what are some other challenges that you see?
Sticking to the time and consistency, the schedule, because there will be a lot of things whereby they will not give way. Like I have a client whom they they want to follow the plan, but they know that the plan is to put the baby down at 7, but they will try to negotiate. Oh, can we put down today at 7 and 9 p.m. tomorrow because we have a family dinner, and can we put down at 7 again tomorrow? So I we don't work this way. The babies are not programmed to sleep at 7 today and sleep at 9 tomorrow. So
Hmm.
these are some of the challenges that they will try to negotiate, and that's why hence I say they don't fully understand what they're getting into in the first place. They just wanted to, have a 1 day trial perhaps and expect results from there. But we all know that sleep training is a long game, is a long run. We can't just expect something to happen the next morning. So
Hmm.
in and hence I feel that some parents when they approach us, they think that we can fix it immediately. So they want to have a quick fix and they don't have a
Yeah.
full understanding. So this can be challenging. Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, it's interesting because I've seen a real explosion of sleep education in Asian countries just in the last couple of years. So I think, one of the challenges might be that just a lot of people are unaware of how body clocks function best, how the different sleep needs of the different age ranges.
yeah.
Here in the United States, sleep education is quite common now. It wasn't always, but most people understand, the repercussions of not sleeping well and the implications that show up when kids are not sleeping well. But I think that that's an emerging science there. So it is important that parents educate themselves on the necessity of sleep, the positive outcomes from sleeping well. And it might mean that you have to dial back your extracurricular activities just to
Yeah.
keep kids on a consistent schedule.
And I think the surrounding environment plays a part as well. Your peers, why is it that you see some of your friends, children are really sleeping well? They get curious, like why is it a rising trend? And then they will further look into it. But
Mm-hmm.
previously, when it's not as much of a discussed topic yet, they will be quite against it. At the thought of it, what, I need to let my baby cry? No way, I'm going to do that. But when they start
Right.
to see people, oh, why is it that everybody's baby is sleeping well, but not mine? Why do I seem to be the odd one out? Then they will further want to find out, and that's where
Yeah.
they ring me up and be like, hey, can you tell me what is this all about?
Yeah.
How can I get down to do it? So the first thing is I always ask them, are you on board in this
Right.
program in the first place? Otherwise, it is very difficult to carry it out. Yeah.
Yes. Good point.
Mm.
Yes. How about sleeping environments? Is that a challenge that you face with the clients you work with, like not having extra rooms for kids or room sharing with children? Is that something that that adds a layer of challenge?
It can be, to a certain extent, yes, because co-sleeping is also very common, and whereby parents want to sleep together with their child because they want
Mm-hmm.
to feel the sense of closeness, and they feel that by sleeping co-sleeping with my child, it's our bonding and I want to feel close. And I think it's the mindset as well. They believe that it is only this couple of years that I get to sleep with my child, and after that
Right.
few years, I may not get the chance to bond closer. But I've also met a client whereby he lives in a 1 bedroom apartment, because he hacked down. Basically combined 2 bedrooms into one to have a bigger master room. But a baby
Yeah.
came along, and they have to co-sleep together. But this set of parents, they are very disciplined in creating a barrier. We all know that even though there are space constraints, it can be done. It is whether the
Yes.
parents want to carry it out, want to be disciplined in building a barrier and letting the baby sleep in, creating a personal space yet in a similar room. So these are the little efforts that the parents put in themselves to make it work. So
Yeah.
like I said, the mindset is very important. When they feel that, okay, we want to do it, we believe this will work, we will find our way to make it happen. So they make sure they create a space for their baby, put them down, and they are even willing to sleep late at 11 or 12 to see if there are any false starts or whether baby will wake up after 1 or 2 hours. They're so cooperative that I truly believe after seeing them that anything works, so long
Yeah.
as you are very receptive and you really listen out to all the plan carved out.
Exactly.
Things can be done.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're right. You don't need to, every child does not need their own bedroom. I mean, this can be done. You can teach a child independent sleep skills, no matter where they are in the house. You're right. There's always a way to make it work.
Yes.
And that's why having a sleep consultant is so helpful. If you've got challenges, you have your in-laws living with you, you're sharing a room with your baby. I mean, these might feel like impossible hurdles to get over, but with the help of you as a sleep coach, you can help people work through these issues and find workarounds and solutions and help them stay accountable to the plan and
Yes.
start seeing progress. So that's always the benefit of working with a coach one to one.
Basically leading you to the right path the
Yes.
first time, and not for you to feel very lost after trying and trying and trying, and
Yes.
a lot of time and effort to navigate
So
yourself. Yeah.
Yes. Well, awesome. Ivy, thanks for sharing your tips with us today. Can you let people know how to find you?
My website is itsbedtimesg.com. They can always find me there and check out the services that I provide.
Yes, absolutely. And Ivy has complimentary calls to see if you'd be a good fit for working together. So
Yeah.
take her up on that offer and get your baby sleeping well and through the night.
Yes, I'm looking forward to helping you get back your sleep.
Awesome. Thanks so much for being with me today.
Thank you for having me, Dana. Thank you.